What I got here is a special report. Today is October 6, 2009. And I'm a proud member of 12160.org. This is brought to you by fearlessbroadcasting.info. And of course, you can find my website at harrythomas.info. But what I wanted to talk about is some very interesting information that has come out about the moon. This came out Tuesday, October 6, 2009. Researchers find presence of water on the moon. Now, this report actually came out a week or two back. And this was reported out of the Daily Beacon. A team of scientists, including Lawrence A. Taylor, professor in the Department of Earth and Planetary Sciences, has discovered the existence of water on the lunar surface. I mean, wow. I mean, that is pretty big news. But it gets pretty interesting because they make this announcement, but then all of a sudden we realize that NASA is going to crash land LCROSS on October 9th. Get this, in 3 days. And it says that will bring more supporting evidence to our find, Taylor said. We would hope that all this will lead to humans returning to the moon to establish a launching point away from the Earth's gravity from which to refuel and go onward to Mars and beyond into the solar system. The discovery was made possible by a partnership between NASA and UT to fund Taylor's work. You know, and we've heard this before, that they want to colonize the moon and they want to colonize space. In my honest opinion, it's a huge waste of taxpayer money, for one. And there are some saying that this violates a UN agreement and therefore would be against the law. We're going to get into that in a little bit because I did find the way some people are perceiving this, their perceptions are a little off. But we'll get to that in a minute. Space.com reported. It's official. Water found on the moon. The new findings detailed in a September 25th issue of the journal Science come into wake as further evidence of lunar polar water ice by NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, and just weeks before a planned lunar impact of NASA's LCROSS satellite, which will hit one of the permanently shadowed centers at the moon's south pole in hopes of churning up evidence of water ice deposits in the debris field. So what they're going to do is they're going to crash a satellite, some people are calling it a rocket, into a dark area of the moon, create a crater so that they can force debris up so that they can study it somehow. The moon remains drier than any desert on Earth. But the water is said to exist on the moon in very small quantities. 1 ton of the top layer of the lunar surface would hold about 32 ounces of water, researchers say. Now this here is key. Think about this, okay? 1 ton of the surface would only yield about 32 ounces of water. Okay, that's not a heck of a lot. That's not a heck of a lot of water really at all. And to be mining this water is what they want to do. Fox News reported NASA wants to mine moon water. This came out Wednesday, September 30th, 2009. NASA has long planned to mine water on the moon to supply human colonies and future space exploration. Now, the discovery of small amounts of water across much of the lunar surface has shifted that vision into fast forward, with the U.S. Space Agency pursuing several promising technologies. It says here, one probe, NASA's LCROSS spacecraft. Now here they're calling it a spacecraft. Other articles call it a rocket. Others call it a satellite. Well, what is it really? It's a satellite, really. So this LCROSS spacecraft is closing in on the moon's south pole and is expected to crash into a crater on October 9th. in another bid to find water ice hidden within the permanent shadows there. Not just half-baked. NASA scientists have quietly worked on water mining technologies for years in small laboratories, but a full-blown project did not emerge until the latest vision for living off the land and using lunar resources emerged in 2004. So in 2004, they really started seriously looking at this mining technology of water. And you say, well, you know, Harry, what the heck does this all mean? To tell you the truth, I don't know what it all means. What I do know is they're wasting a real awful lot of money, taxpayers' money, on these projects, which doesn't really going to seem like it's going to yield anything for us here. You know, first of all, let's ask ourselves, our economy is collapsing, the dollar is dying. Can we afford these kind of exuberant space programs? I'd say not. And right at NASA's own website, they're trying to promote this thing where they're encouraging people to have impact night parties, and they're putting up a live satellite feed to watch the impact live. It's incredible. NASA news release, September 28th, 2009. LCROSS mission changes the impact crater. So now they're saying that the target crater, they're changing from Cabeus A to Cabeus proper. I mean, you could go to NASA's website and read more about this. In fact, a lot of people have been twittering them, because there's a link there, and telling them that they're totally crazy. I mean, we're talking about an impact. They're talking about an impact, a crash. And it says NASA's LCROSS mission will culminate with 2 lunar impacts. So this says there's going to be 2, not just 1, 2. LCROSS means Lunar Crater Observation and Sensing Satellite. So it is a satellite. The mission objectives of the Lunar Crater Observation and Sensing Satellite include confirming the presence or absence of water ice in a permanently shadowed crater at the moon's south pole. The identification of water is very important in the future of human activities on the moon. LCROSS will evacuate the permanently dark floor of one of the moon's polar crashes with 2 heavy impactors in 2009 to test the theory that ancient ice lies buried there. And this is all on a theory, mind you. They're not even sure. It says here it may or may not find presence of water, of ancient water. Oh my God, the impact will eject material from the crater's surface to create a plume that specialized instruments will be able to analyze for the presence of water, hydrocarbons, and hydrated materials. I mean, the last time I checked, the moon had everything to do with gravitational forces and controlling the tides in the ocean. You know, without them tides and stuff, the Earth will die. Understand this. I mean, exactly what kind of an impact? Is this going to change the Earth's gravitational pull on Earth? Is this even be considered? And what kind of madmen sit around thinking up these kind of ideas? Just like on Earth, water is a crucial resource on the moon. It will not be practical to transport to space the amount of water needed for human and explorational needs. And 1 ton of that material produces 32 ounces of water. And what are we going to have to do? Keep impacting the moon to exhume these materials to get this water? This doesn't make any sense. Many years ago, the great British explorer George Mallory, who was to die on Mount Everest, was asked why did he want to climb it, and he said, because it's there. And it really, I mean, is that what we're seeing here with the moon? It's just because it's there? Doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense at all. Science Daily reported rocket smash could find moon's water ice, experts say. Crashing a rocket into the moon will create one more dimple on the lunar surface and could find water, according to Durham University. if ice is present in the permanently shaded lunar craters of the moon. Now think about this. If ice. They're going to impact the moon, and they don't even know what exactly they're doing. And this is happening on October 9th. You're going to have to get a call out to your congressmen, to your senators, and let them know exactly what you think about this. I mean, what do you think about this? I think this is very dangerous areas indeed. If ice is present, then it could potentially provide a water source for eventually establishment of a manned base on the moon. Such a base could be used for a platform for exploration into the further reaches of our solar system. But we've already heard DOD, Pentagon plans of militarization of space, okay?